Oh, another video about scales.
Now lay me down.
Hey, welcome to lessonswithmarcel.com. We're doing an ASMR video about the dominant pentatonic scale.
Hey folks, it's Marcel, and today I thought we could talk about some dominant pentatonic scales. So in this video, I am assuming that you already know your pentatonic scale and you're comfortable moving it around the neck.
And hopefully by now, you'll be comfortable transforming those positions into something new.
Before we get started, I just want to say real quick, I'm so happy that so many of you have contacted me about Skype lessons. If you're still interested in the slot, please send me an email before things fill up. You can do that on my website. Also, if you haven't heard already, I do have a new lick-based Instagram channel called Jazz and Grass. Please go follow me there. All right, so I already know what you're thinking. Not another music theory video. I promise I'm going to do my best to keep this from being boring, and I'm going to do that mostly by inserting random clips.
See, that's not bad, man. You got a great stretch.
Oh, I never even thought of using positions like that.
Anyway, point is, I mentioned dominant pentatonic scales 2 videos ago, and people have been asking, so here we go. So here's an easy way to think about it. If you take a major scale and you named all the notes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, well, a major pentatonic scale is made from these notes from the major scale. 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. 1, 3, and 5 are from the chord, right? Do you hear that barbershop greeting?
Hello. Hello. That took longer to make than I'd like to admit.
So the other notes, 2 and 6, are just notes that don't interfere with the chord tones. Are you with me so far? The problem is, a dominant chord has a dominant 7th in it. For instance, a G7 has an F in it. F natural doesn't appear in our major scale because it's a flat 7th degree. So it doesn't appear in our major pentatonic either. What does appear in our major pentatonic is the 6th degree, or an E note. Those two notes, E and F, will clash very hard with each other. So how do we fix it? Well, since the 6th is so close to the dominant 7th, what if we just changed it to that note? By the way, I cut my hair myself yesterday. So let me know in the comments below if I should quit guitar and become a full-time barber. The hard thing about changing that one note is we already have these pentatonic shapes ingrained in our brain. We've seen these shapes so many times. So making the change can be no easy task. So there's 2 ways that I look at this problem. I like to view the pentatonic scale as a series of smaller blocks. You see, each pentatonic position is made up of 2 different kinds of building block. For instance, every position has a group of 3 strings where the notes are closer together, and every position has a group of 2 strings where the notes are farther apart. Starting to view the scale like this is beneficial for a lot of reasons, but right now what it's going to help us do is move the same note in multiple positions at the same time. First, let's carefully identify the 6th. So in the G major pentatonic, it's an E note. So this is the note we have to change. Now let's identify where it is in our smaller pentatonic blocks. Looks like it's on the middle string of our group of 3 strings closer to the body of the guitar. It's also on the last string of our group of 2 strings closer to the neck of the guitar. If we move those notes forward 1 fret, we'll have created a pentatonic scale that includes the dominant 7th note. The notes in this scale are now 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7, or G, A, B, D, and F natural. Let's try it with another position. We can identify our E notes based on their position in the smaller pentatonic blocks, and we can move them up 1 fret to create a dominant pentatonic scale. Here's one more example. Find the E notes in the blocks and move them up. You can do that with every position. Sushi cat. So this one involves actual work and not just staring at pretty colors and shapes.
Learn the note names in every position.
Pretty spooky stuff, right? It's actually pretty easy. The notes always appear in the same order, so as long as you start on the right note, you'll be fine. The order is G, A, B, D, and E. Here we go. So I'm going to play our first available position of the G major or E minor pentatonic scale. Our low E string is obviously an E note, so let's start from there. Here we go. This is E, G, A, B, D, E, G, A, B, D, E, G. Now, from what we just did, we learned that the second position starts on a G note. So let's start that. G, A, B, D, E, G, A, B, D, E, G, A. See, it's not that hard. Now, to turn this into a dominant pentatonic scale, we would just Remember or track where every E note is and move it up 1 fret. Hard work over. How do I use it though? Why are you always talking about theory and you never give me any practical applications? Well, the idea is pretty simple. When a dominant chord comes up, try this scale over it. For instance, if you were playing bluegrass in the key of G and a D7 chord came up, a good way to tackle it would be with a D dominant pentatonic. Here's an example lick that I've created that just goes right up the position. There's nothing else kind of fancy going on. Then after that, I use some G stuff to get back down and finish the lick. You'll love it. See, that wasn't too bad. And now you have a new friend, the dominant pentatonic scale.
Papa, you're my very best friend. And you're mine too, Todd. And we'll always be friends forever.
If you liked that video, remember there's a bunch of things to do. You can comment, you can subscribe, you can like this video. You can also find me over on Facebook. You can find me over on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter. And if you're interested in Skype lessons, once again, please shoot me an email so you can get signed up. In the future, there's some really big, exciting news coming up. So I'll be I hardly speak. I can't wait to show you. It's going to be really cool. So yeah, I'll see you next time.